All right, you guys. All right. Get on in here today. We got some, I don't even want to call it tea. I want to call it his reality about Marcus from ASI. Now, Marcus, listen. Since I've been doing videos on you, I told you that these interviews and you trying to be outside was going to F you up one day. Did I or did I not? Now, let's talk about this situation he got going on with his new group, his new crew. Well, apparently the one that did some of the spicy was under 18. Now here's the thing. For all we know, the girl could have turned 18 since, she got like a full-fledged missing report out there. She could have turned 8, well, whatever it is. See, Marcus, this is just it. I want to say this. I respect, and this is on everything, I respect your hunger for money. I ain't never mad at anybody taking care of their family. At one point in life, see, you live life and you learn. At one point in your life, see, you always wanted to make it seem like you was so much above me because we took a different path. Now pay attention. Mr. College, I'm sorry, didn't graduate, but you went. Mr. College Man. Because I chose the streets. Even though I was employed, I chose the streets as well when I was younger. For a long time. Never in the house, never used my body. But because you went to college, it's okay that you tear down the people in your community. It's like something Troy said one day. Everybody has a reason why they're doing it, and they try to make the reason right in their mind. I was taking care of my family, so do all my wrongdoings go excused? Oh, because I was taking care of my family and others. So can it be, is there some special exception? Just like every other man or woman, if they're out there doing things they shouldn't be doing, they're doing it to take care of themselves and their family. But, or is it only okay because we like Mr. ASI? So this is where we have to figure out what's wrong with us at this point. Because it ain't okay if A, B, C, and D does E, F, G, and H, but it's okay if you do you. Why is that? I thought wrong was wrong. Now, I'm trying to figure out how it works. There's different levels to being wrong, or only certain people are allowed to do wrong. Now, Mr. ASI, I get you trying to get you back. But there's a time and a place where you have to put your grown man hat on. And you have to be like, you know what I'm doing, it ain't right. Let's be real. It ain't right. See, you found an easy way to take care of your family. You don't want to work. That's the truth. You don't want to work. That's why you had this master plan. Because you don't want to work a 9 to 5. And I get that. You have that right. But with you, just like every one of us that are outside doing wrong, it's whatever's clever. Because we ain't out there to be no counselors. We ain't out there to correct. We ain't out there to fix. We ain't out there to hold your hand. If you're crashing out, we're crashing out with you. That's how outside works. But see, Marcus, what you doing? You crashing out on a different level because you got this thing. Actually, you got this thing. And you can tell that you've never got enough in your whole life, and you're just depleted in that area. I know you think because T's letting you put it down. Nah, you ain't always been that ninja. That's the reality. So as a man living, that phase of his life, you didn't live it how you wanted to. Let's be real. That's why you're doing what you're doing now. But you have made it in your mind where, just like, it's no different than the men outside in the streets and the junkies. Profit is profit. So what's the difference between you and the difference between them? What? Oh, there's also women out there too. But what's the difference? Or the man that goes to the bank or you see what I'm saying? Or the fraud, or what's the difference? Wrong is wrong. But see, you haven't came to that conclusion in your mind. No, I'm sorry, not that conclusion. You haven't came to that frame of thought or thinking. And I know you guys hate when I say that, but the grand scheme of things, that's the reality. There's a grand scheme of everything. There's just it is what it is factor. And there's always been in life. We always try to make these special exceptions and different playbook, and it don't work like that, baby. It never did. You had a chance to take this page every which way you want it, but you, like all of us, we find something that works and we run with it. We always take the easy route out. Why work harder when there's an easy route? You tuned in on people's messiness. And let me tell you something. I made a video about people being messy the other day. Ain't nothing wrong with being messy. If that's it, listen, we are all imperfect people. We're all messy, just in different ways. So if it's messy by the way you talk to your husband, you see what I'm saying? So don't let that video offend you. If that video offended you, your skin ain't tough enough. Because one thing about me, I say what I say. I don't leave no hidden mysteries where you got to try to turn it around and make my sentence mean something else. Or I say what I say and I stand on it. So anyways, Marcus has homed in on messy people. Mess pays bills. Drama. What they call it they call it drama. Hood terminology, mess. So don't be offended. Drama's on every soap opera. Drama's on reality. That's drama. But now we just call it messy. There's a new word for it. So don't make it seem like you being messy is like, oh, don't take it as a hit to the heart, baby. Y'all take things too serious. It is, do you be messy like your drama? If that, okay. Everybody likes something different, okay. Getting your feelings about foolishness. But anyways, Marcus has homed in on people that like mess. And it's easy. I can go hang around with somebody for 10, 15, 20 minutes, throw a little meal at them. It's no different than the young men in the streets out there. And live nice off of you. Live nice. All I gotta do is have a couple of dumb conversations every now and then, let you get in my car every now and then. I don't work. This is my job. I ain't got no 9 to 5. This is what I do. It's a no-brainer, right? It's a no-brainer for everyone. But what you did, Marcus, allegedly, is you're like, hey, I'm this type of way. This is what I like. This is what I'm interested in too. How can I open this up and make this happen? You know what I always wondered, Marcus? Because we know you're laying up with the interviewees. I would not be surprised, guys. Listen to what I'm telling you. If Marcus hasn't made his own corn with one of these people, it might even be with a mask, a back view or a headless where you can't tell it's him. He might have actually already posted one of him and one of them. Maybe even, who knows? Him and somebody on some site somewhere seeing will they do numbers. Did we ever think about that? Did we? I've been thinking that for, man, listen. It's a wild ride. One thing about him, don't put nothing beyond him. You see, he was already trying to see if y'all wanted a shower scene. If y'all wanted that shower, he was trying to get in the gym and get fit just for that. One thing about him, he's willing to test the waters, and he's willing to do whatever. The sky's the limit with him. Now, one thing about this situation, Marcus, if this were to fall through, don't think it's something where they're going to come knock on your door in the next day or two. They'll reach out. If the person is still underage, they'll reach out. But one thing about charges, you just don't do something and they come and get you. It don't work like that. They have to investigate. Then it has to go to a state attorney's office, and the state attorney has to figure out, is there some sort of probable cause, due diligence, or negligence on your part. Then after the state attorney figures that, they take it to the judge. So it's kind of like a combined, and the judge says, looks at the facts, okay, we might have, not we might, there might be something done in this situation that was inappropriate. Then at that point, and everything's all paperwork and signed off on and judge, court dates before it even gets to you. But do you think the judge is just at home signing things? Even though that can be done. And then at that point, a charge would be filed according to whatever it was you did. Now, a warrant has to be put out. That has to be signed upon also. Now, once that happens, you have to be picked up. You're going to give a deposition. What you going to do? You may go home. Or you may be and have to pay to get out. Then, at that point, you would reach out. Hey, lawyer me. And then you provide your case. And then everything's just, and once again, it's a chain reaction decided upon. It could take them up to a year or better to even come get you, depending on how backed up they are on paperwork. I've seen it happen. You wouldn't be the first. Or they could be at your door in 2 weeks. Every offense is looked at differently. And even though some offenses, once again, people are backed up on paperwork. Very few cases get head priority. But the thing is, Marcus, your greed for money, like everybody else, if they're out there doing stocks and bonds or, blue collar this, white collar, whatever, outside, whatever. Doing something wrong is doing something wrong. Being foul is being foul. There's so many people that's done wrong things, and I wouldn't mind if they stood in my presence. But something about you, it would be hard for me to let you stand in my presence. And a lot of this plays off your age. Because the reality is, you are a grown man. You're pulling up on 50. I'm in my 50s. You're a grown man. And like I said at the beginning of the video, at one point in life, you have to be able to say what's right and what's wrong. And is it really worth it? About your moral compass kicking in. I understand we all do dumb-ish. All throughout our life, even until we go to heaven. I get it. All of us, including me, we are all imperfect people, just in different ways. And it's okay. But when you can't own up to it, and you can't correct it, and when you're pulling towards 50, and you're just, instead of you going to that uphill, okay, I'm getting better, I shouldn't do this, I shouldn't do that, I'm grown, I lived and I learned, you're taking a decline. Now that's where the problem comes. For the greed and the love of easy money. You're like every other sucker that's out there doing something they ain't supposed to be doing. What? But why? Because you're on YT. You're special. What you're doing doesn't count. It doesn't matter. What? Because you got kids? So does every other person that's doing wrong. The majority of them. Let me rephrase that. They're doing it for their family too. So I think sometimes we got to call ourselves out. Because I see everybody patting this man's back, doing this, doing that. Not everyone, a lot of people. Making excuses. But the crazy thing is, if it was your niece, your nephew, your whatever, it would be a problem. We got this thing out of sight, out of mind. It ain't got nothing to do with us. It's us. We're the ones effed up. He just homed in on it. He's effed up in his own way. Let's call that thing a thing. Why? Because we are all imperfect people. We're so busy looking at the little things that mean absolutely nothing instead of seeing it for just what it is. That's what's wild to me. I wore this shirt. And not because I meant to, I happened to just pull it out of the closet. You guys see what it says? Everything I know, I learned on the streets. When I saw this, I bought 5 of them. Because this doesn't explain my life any better. Marcus, you claim to be this guy, and you are none of what you have described. None of. You're not any better than anybody else. You're just as imperfect as everyone else. The difference between me and you is I'm really from outside. And the majority of what I learned, everything to do with outside, it came from outside. I didn't go out there acting like I had it figured out. I knew what I was doing. It was all a process. It didn't matter who I was around that was outside or whatever stories they had. I had to go through it and learn it all myself. There's so many teachings and understandings and rules that break and don't apply and switch up when it comes to different people. I mean, it's just how outside works. Kind of like the real world. But what mind boggles me is because what you've told me many times, you never know who I know. Marcus, F who you know. Look who you are. It doesn't matter. You can't live off of what the work someone else put in. See, you're one of those people, Marcus, you want to be part of something, but you don't understand what you're involved in. And what's so crazy, what you're involved in, it's just regular life. And a lot of it is common sense. But you don't have that. So that's why you be in the situations you be in. And I'm going to tell you this. Because I truly understand outside. Since you want to deal with outside people, one day, this will not work the way you think it's supposed to. And life will prove to you, you're not the person that you think you are. It could even put you in a situation where you could jeopardize your own freedom. Because it takes a split second. A split second. That's how outside works. A split second. And what you gonna do? What could you do? What will you do? Because one thing, once again, outside. It don't stop for anybody. So while you're going home, the people from outside, they're still outside. They live by them rules all day long. You're coming into their part of town. Listen, while you're going back home to your apartment, condo, whatever, house, whatever it is, you're in their world. The world you ain't from. The world you don't even understand basic life, let alone that life. I ain't tripping. That's you, though, Mr. You know it all. If you know so much, you wouldn't be in the situations you be in. That's why you couldn't sit in front of me. Because even I had rules and regulations on who I would deal with and who I wouldn't deal with when I was outside. I'm not saying I never dealt with people I wasn't supposed to deal with, but I had to learn. It wasn't right. All money ain't what? Because your moral compass, if you have one, it kicks in. If you don't, you'll just be like how you are. But then there's repercussions behind it. There's pretty much, for every action, there's a reaction. You just might not see it. You might not know it's happening. But yeah, that's how life works. All right, y'all, let me go. We'll talk about this bird on another video. Happy Sunday. May you have the best day ever. I want to thank all of my imperfect people for watching this video. First thing I could tell you to do if you want to change in life is accept and realize who you are. An imperfect person in this imperfect world. And it's okay to be imperfect. But where the problem lies is when you don't work on you and try to fix those imperfections. Have a good day. Happy Sunday. Have your best week ever. Finishing out your weekend. May that just go off with a may it be beautiful. Please like, hype, and subscribe to my video. Subscribe to my channel. Liking, hyping, and commenting pushes my videos through the algorithm. Thank you guys. I'll see you on the next video. I love you.